Alrighty, I'm back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And welcome back everybody to a bit more of the SSCC as it is called, which by the way is now a command as well. I just literally read that. If you'd like to have a quick overview of what this kind of challenge run is. Also, there's a new straw poll now for which character or class would you like to see next, or which job. I usually call it job, but SSCC kind of goes a bit better. Hey Plat King, welcome to you. And thank you Ryok, I appreciate that. So, alrighty. This guy here, as mentioned before, all he does, while at least one of your party members is floating, is spam Gravity 100, because his most powerful move, the Earthshaker, does not actually hit the character that is, well, floating. So essentially, he would never cast Earthshaker, unless I'm jumping over it, that is, and only ever cast Gravity 100, and that way I can defeat him rather quickly. That was only 2700 damage. Thought he would deal more damage. Maybe the chicken knife is better against this guy, even despite the spear getting a literally 2 times modifier thanks to the jump. So I guess chicken knife is still just strictly stronger. Unless I hit a weak spot with the holy element. Nah, not quite. It actually is slightly weaker with the chicken knife. However, it also makes me slightly faster thanks to +5 agility. So probably still worthwhile. So either way, this guy is easy. Pretty much exclusively thanks to having float, and every single character can get float, except for a solo berserker. But then again, if you get here with a solo berserker, you will have enough levels to just punch through this guy and take literally every single turn Earthshaker without dying before he dies, because he would have had to level that much. That's just kind of the nature of that type of beast. So yeah, float is useful to avoid damage from ground, but also to just trivialize this guy here, because all he really does is pretty much has a 2 in 3 chance to use Earthshaker almost every single turn. Not every single turn, just almost every single turn. So he's a pretty annoying fellow. So back to the haste boots, because they are just that good. And then we keep jumping. Or something like that. So I need to put my OBS over here so I can actually see it. By the way, worth noting, if you vote in the straw poll for the next class, you can choose multiple classes at the same time. If you'd like to, that is. So, fun fact, if you didn't get Ramu, the summon Esper, yet, you can get him in this area here right now, if you want to. But I don't really care about Ramu. The only use he would have would be to steal some high potions from him, because his common steals a high potion. Alrighty, and what am I gonna do against this next boss coming up? Is I'm actually going to use a watering again, because this boss here eventually will cast Holy on you. And that Holy deals pretty much 9,999 damage. But you can reflect Holy, so it's not going to be really much of a problem at all. So my goal is to just dump him. Aside from that, he is kind of one of the more annoying bosses in terms of just status effects and such. Nothing too bad, mostly just frogging you and I think also changing rows in which you're in with Dynamo, which we preferably are not in the front row, because he does have some physical attacks too. But you barely know anything about the classes. Well, then you just pick whichever one sounds the nicest to you. Hey, we actually blocked the Dynamo. Oh, nice. Alrighty, here we have Halicarnaso. Can use Shell, which reduces all magical damage dealt by half, and also the chance to hit certain spells. Unfortunately, he just used Shell, so his Holy is not going to deal as much damage, but still a load of damage to himself with Holy. Brings to you-ish. And yes, you might have read already, a solo class challenge is essentially you take a single character with a singular top class and just run through the entirety of Final Fantasy V with it. That's really all there is to this. Nothing more, nothing less for that matter either. Alrighty, and that was that guy. Now, for the next boss, we will actually want to have a Coral Ring, because he counterattacks with... Tidal Wave whenever you hit him physically. So, for anybody who does not necessarily know Final Fantasy V, in Final Fantasy V you can choose any of the chops you have unlocked so far, anytime. There's no downside to not just using that chop or switching the chop in order to mix and max abilities, because various chops teach you various moves, such as, for example, as a Dragoon, we learned to jump, or the Dragon Sword. So in order to use jump now on a, I don't know, on a monk, we will be able to jump with a monk if we just select the monk class and then add the ability to jump to it. Essentially, it actually is rather complex in the entirety of the game, but also very intriguing because there's so many options, since most bosses can be beaten multiple ways, such as Twintania. Twintania likes to use Snowstorm, which is why I have the Ice Shield equipped, also counterattacks with Tidal Wave whenever you damage it, or more specifically use a move on it that doesn't necessarily use... Oh, that's bad, because now I'm stunned. Mind Blast is the one thing that I really don't want to see, because it can stun me. Also, it inflicts HP leak. Either way, Twintania will use Giga Flare at some point, but we can't just jump over Giga Flare. Also, it's really weak to a Holy element, for that matter. And apparently I was too slow to avoid the Giga Flare, so I actually died to Twintania. We have to redo the Halicarnaso fight as well. I did not think I was that slow, but I guess I am. Oh, 0 deaths to Halicarnaso so far, but 1 death to Twintania. Twintania also has a pretty huge amount of HP. So that is not the most pleasant to deal with. Because of our jumping, or repeated jumping anyways, it's getting rather tricky to kill enemies quickly, because you just always take about 2 turns until you get 1 attack off. That doesn't help. But at the same time, since the attack power is double when you use spears like the Holy Lance, it should kind of even out to an extent, and we even avoid more damage overall. Good evening to you, Lammergeier. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. That reminds you of Dragon Warrior 7. Tons of classes and new capabilities after switching classes. Oh, interesting. I did not know 7 had that, or a Dragon Warrior game had that kind of thing. But yes, that's pretty much kind of how it is. You essentially get abilities from other classes. However, you can only really use most of the abilities that you actually actively equip, with some exceptions. So if you want to use Black Magic, you need to equip Black Magic in order to use it on your character. So the main purpose of the Freelancer class is that you can equip literally every single piece of equipment, which is kind of valuable by itself because there's really good equipment in this game. But on top of that, there is also ineffective. On top of that, there is also how to put it? Passive abilities. So, for example, if you level up a monk to master the monk class, you will be able to use counterattacks. Whenever you get physically hit, you will have a chance, a 50-50 chance to attack back, and that will transform to the Freelancer class. Essentially, most passive abilities from classes can transfer over to the Freelancer class. Another one is the Samurai, who has an innate chance to dodge, and that can be transferred over to the Freelancer class as well. So overall, you can get a tremendous amount of useful abilities and things that will just kind of help you a lot getting through the game, essentially. As a Freelancer class, also initially the Freelancer class has really below average stats, but let's say you master a Summoner, suddenly the Freelancer class has really good magic power stat, because it just takes the highest stats of all the classes you have mastered and puts them together for the Freelancer. So Freelancer eventually becomes really, really overpowered. So let's try this again. This time I know that if I just keep jumping from the get-go, I'm going to run into the problem of Giga Flare. I think it's like 5 attacks he does before he uses Giga Flare. Oh, wait, actually, I did get stunned. I did get stunned. So Snowstorm Fight, Atomic Ray, Snowstorm and Fight. Mind Blast, Wind Slash, ah, that's not what I want to see. And then I just need to wait. I think he always uses 2 Wind Slashes here. So I just need to wait because he will use another Wind Slash. But I also will not be quick enough to jump over his Giga Flare attack. I am a dummy. I jumped too early. Oh no, it was fine. Whew. But the thing is, I noticed that he switched phases already, and now he is back to his starting phase. And we just keep jumping at this point. So please use another Snowstorm to heal me, or Tidal Wave to heal me. This is why I have the Coral Ring equipped, because that Tidal Wave hurts a lot. Oh yeah, we are also immune against fire thanks to... Ah, that's unfortunate. We are also immune against fire thanks to the Coral Ring. I guess that's the thing that it does too. Or is it the Ice Shield? Either the Ice Shield or the Coral Ring. So I just need to wait for his second Wind Slash and then I do the thing again. So, if you notice, while I have the cursor here, I'm not pressing any buttons, but eventually the cursor on Twin Tanya will go back down. And that is when we know that Twin Tanya has just switched form. There's actually 2 different monsters called Twin Tanya in the game. And this one here is essentially just the main form, where it just attacks and counterattacks. But as soon as it charges up for Giga Flare, it ends up switching over to being another monster entirely, which by the way is only level 20 and susceptible to pretty much every single status effect. Not every single one, but almost every single one. So what I'm gonna do is going to wait until he uses Wind Slash and Wind Slash. Because I really don't want to get hit by the Gale there. That's the only thing that really kills me. So you could use level 5 Doom on him. You can use a Petrification move on him. You can use a Break Blade on him. You can basically insta-kill this guy in many different ways. You can also frog him if you want to. And that was Twintania. Alright, Twintania down. Without too much trouble. I guess one death. Rump. You got lucky and got the Titan Axe deal today with the Thief Knife. Nice. I was actually contemplating trying to go for the Giant's Glove deal on the Apocalypse. But I didn't go for it because Apocalypse can be such a big meanie in the first place. But that's pretty awesome. Congrats. Axes in this game are interesting because they ignore 3/4 of the enemy's defense, which can be kind of a big deal. The biggest downside about them is, however, that they usually have pretty poor accuracy, like up to 30% chance to miss. I think the best axe has like a 10% chance to miss, in terms of, well, chance to hit or miss for that matter. And what else? I guess 3/4 ignoring defense is actually really good in certain instances. And only really axes have that, and flails and maces, but whoever uses flails or maces? No one. Aside from white mages. I guess. Technically, chemists can also use flails, because it's considered a staff weapon. Kind of like mentioned a few times before, whenever I attack with the chicken knife, there's a 1 in 4 chance for me to run away from combat instead of attacking, which is what I'm aiming for. And also, now we are in the Void. This is the final area of the game. The enemies here do no longer give you any experience, they just give you a ton of ability points. So if you want to max out the classes, this is kind of where you need to do that. There's a pinwheel in the chest on the right side, just a ninja throwing weapon. A really good one. If you are a ninja, you want that. But I don't want that. Alrighty, and I'm going to go ahead and equip the Thief's Knife. I guess I haven't used the Thief's Knife so far, because I want to steal from this guy here. So this is Gilgamesh. He is the one that got sent to the X Zone. And I really want his shield, because he has a Genji shield. There we go, that's perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. We are switching over to Chicken Knife and just jump on him. You only need to deal like 10,000 damage to him. Or was it 7,000? It was actually kind of low compared to where we are in the game, in order for him to switch phases. Plus he doesn't deal that much damage. But the Genji shield, all it does is it gives you 50% physical evasion, which, that's huge. 50% physical evasion is crazy good. Also, he only appears here if you actually defeat Gilgamesh in Exdev's castle, I think. Because I've actually never not fought him in Exdev's castle, so I wouldn't even know whether he would not be here. And that's that. So, in the void here, specifically in this area, and the next one I think, we can run into crystal dragons. Crystal dragons, they do have a rare steal of a Dragoon lance. I really would like to have that. But the chance for us to steal specifically a Dragoon lance is really tiny. Let me illustrate how tiny it is by giving you some numbers. So, first of all, we have a 50-50 chance of even activating the capture ability from the Thief's Knife. So it's only 50% of the time we even get to try and steal. Then, on top of that, we also have only a 40% chance then to successfully steal. By the way, the chests that I don't pick up, they also all contain pinwheels. So essentially 20% of the time when I attack, I successfully steal. And then it is a 10 out of 256 chance to steal the rare drop. Or to get the rare steal. So how likely is that? Not terribly likely. But hey, it could happen. Who knows? By the way, those things, weird crystal thingies, they have 4 HP. If you can capture them with a Beastmaster and release them, they actually give you Mighty Guard. So, might be worthwhile, but good luck on dealing just 2 damage. Oh, hi. Alright. I mean, worst case scenario, I get an elixir out of it, so that's the common steal. 20% of the time I get an elixir, actually. Yeah, I guess you can round it up to 20% of the time. But yeah, it's incredibly unlikely to get specifically that Dragoon Lance. The Dragoon Lance, once again, it always hits, it always critically hits dragons, so it does double damage. With a jump, it's double damage, so it's really good. Also, one of the 4 parts of the final boss is considered a dragon, so you deal double damage to that, so it's pretty good for that. And here we have Necrophobia. I'm not gonna use the bone mail, because I probably need to heal. Running shoes is good, Aegis shield is good. Do you want the chicken knife? Sure. Alrighty. Necrophobia. He has 4 barriers, and the 4 barriers, they will cast spells on themselves, which they always have permanent wall, which means they will cast Flare or Holy on themselves, and then subsequently be ineffective. I actually jumped too early. If it wasn't ineffective, I would have been dead there, because the first turn they cast Holy or Flare, the second turn they cast Lightning or Fire 3. So I was really lucky there to just jump over that thing, or Ice 3. All of those attacks would be rather dangerous. They only have 9000 HP. They also don't have particularly much MP, so they would run out of MP rather fast. But I would rather kill them before they kill me. I need to block here with the Aegis shield, or 2. Block, please. Oh no, please block. 1 in 3 chance to block this thing. Come on, Ferris. Come on, Ferris. Unfortunately, no such luck, so we died to Necrophobia too. Oh yeah, and didn't go back to save the Aegis shield. And up. We just need to walk. This is why I saved after Twin Tanya. This is actually technically an optional boss too. You don't have to defeat him, but he sits on a save point, so we kinda want to defeat him since the final boss is going to be quite random, whether he wants to kill us or not. Actually, I should be able to survive it most of the time if I just time my jumps well, but I don't know the timing yet. This is where you're at with your 4 Berserker playthrough. I see. What I did with my 4 Berserkers is I had 2 of them zombied with Death Sickles in order to 1 in 3 times heal the other Berserkers who had Bone Mails equipped. Actually, I only did that for the final boss, probably. Yeah, I think for Necrophobia I just powered through him because my Berserkers were, or 2 of my Berserkers were really high level. The other 2's levels really didn't matter much. Where's the Thief's Knife? There it is. Oh. Genji shield, please. I would appreciate that. Everyone is 47. Yeah, I think 2 of my Berserkers were 45. The others were like level 80 or so. And I did the aforementioned method and just let the game run overnight to gather levels in the pyramid. Genji shield, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, just a protect ring to regenerate more HP than you lose. And run into a ramp in the pyramid. That's all I did. Alrighty, attempt number 2, Necrophobia. I forgot to update the number on the screen, didn't I? I updated the number on... Update the number on the right side, but not on the screen. Also, apparently I missed a number somewhere, because we are at 106 deaths, but my spreadsheet only lists 104, so I must have forgotten to add some numbers somewhere. Oh yeah, I actually have 2 more deaths to Omega, I see. That's why, because I just ran into him. Plus 4 deaths to Omega total. In the pyramid or the first area in the void? Pyramid. I used the pyramid. I don't think the void... Oh, the first area in the void has the problem that there's enemies that can use Maelstrom on you. Which that will probably kill you eventually. Since there's no way to guarantee the void Maelstrom. Pretty sure this is a pinwheel. Yep. Why did I even check? Also, one thing worth noting, even though it doesn't state so in the game, Earth Hammers actually deal full damage from the back row, even if they just physically attack, so you never have to be in the front row with Earth Hammers. Or Gaia Hammers, for that matter. By the way, that chest over there in the center, that is Shinryu right in there. And Shinryu is one of the most ridiculously scary bosses in the entire game. Like, really spooky. Since he is insanely fast, even with haste, you are not faster than him, and he does not have haste. He's like level 119 or something like that. No, actually, Shinryu was on level 97 and has a 9999 damage tidal wave when you first meet him. Age-old question, which is harder, Shinryu or Omega? Always depends on what kind of team you have. You can't choose either of them. You can choose Shinryu by berserking him, because he's not immune to berserk, and then you just have somebody avoid the physical attacks and you're golden. So either a white mage with berserk and then cast image, or ninjas with image or blink, I guess it's called. Or you have a knight that protects everybody else with the guard ability. Everybody else is the critical health. It's really easy to choose Shinryu, but it's also easy to choose Omega by using stop from the Bard spell. You just have two characters with the same amount of agility, just continuously use the Bard song to stop him, and you can just kill Omega without doing anything else. Might require a bit more specific setup, but that's the thing. So, what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to go into the front row first. Do you want to do anything else? No. By the way, I could use the third summon spell, Odin. So what I want to do is I want to do a physical attack first, and then jump. Because when I was just jumping before, I was jumping right into Flare and Holy. This way I avoid their Flare and Holy spells. Just barely anyways. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do one physical attack and then one more jump. Alright, this looks good. I think that is good timing. Just one physical attack and then a jump. I seem to avoid their spells. Good luck on thing! Oh wow, thank you for the good luck, I can then lose that. Welcome everybody! PJ with the major host. Thank you very much PJ, I appreciate that. And welcome everybody. Thank you for the good luck, because that is going to be definitely quite helpful. We have arrived at the second to last boss, more or less, in the final area of Final Fantasy V for a single class solo job challenge that I'm currently doing with the Dragoon in this game. And this is Necrophobia. He has 4 barriers that just cast really high level spells onto themselves, but because they have a permanent wall to bounce off spells off themselves, it just kind of bounces the spells over to you. Makes them pretty ugly to deal with. So the reason why I'm using the chicken knife... Oh, this is going to hurt. The reason why I'm using the chicken knife rather than the spear to jump is because chicken knife gives me agility. Oh, nice. Aegis Shield has a chance of 1 in 3 times to block attacks. I just want to kill those barriers. So yeah, welcome everybody. Greetings to you, Verona, Aclorin, PJD Caesar, Brutus, Raiko, Topazshot, Key Paladin, Zorlok, Reeves, and Viper Wolf, and anybody else that might be lurking. I hope you have a pleasant day so far. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. So, now that we are down to one barrier, we don't really need to worry about it too much. What I'm gonna do actually is I use Dragon Sword to heal myself a little bit, but mainly to absorb its MP. The first number you see is HP absorbed, the second one is MP absorbed. Those barriers actually have a pretty low amount of MP, so after just a few uses this thing will no longer have any MP to use at all. So I can essentially just completely prepare for what is to come after this, because that is just the first phase of the fight. Necrophobia will afterwards and start attacking me. Alrighty. It has no longer any MP. And essentially now I'm completely safe to do whatever I want. So, what I want to do is, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and equip the Genji Shield. Because the Genji Shield gives me a 50% chance to block physical attacks. And Necrophobia's main gimmick is essentially that he attacks really hard physically. And he also moves usually twice in one turn. So now that I'm fully healed, I'm also going to switch over to the Holy Spear, because Necrophobia's other gimmick is that he's actually weak against literally every single element there is. So he's weak against Holy and everything else, so I will deal a lot of damage to him by just jumping onto him with the Holy Spear. Jump doubles the damage output you do with spears, compared to just attacking, plus I'm sitting now in the back row, which both reduces the physical damage dealt but also received from the enemy. So, his barriers are gone, and now Necrophobia has been unleashed. One of the most dangerous things he can do is do the nasty combination of Maelstrom, which puts my character to critical HP, and then Flash right after. Critical HP is 9 or less, so we really want that to not happen. Vacuum Wave would deal like 1000 damage despite being in the back row, so the Genji Shield blocking that is kind of a big deal. Just a few more jumps and he is going to be history. And Gilgamesh to the rescue! Once again, if you didn't encounter Gilgamesh in Exdev's castle because you didn't bother opening the chest, you will not have him here. And last time I stole a Genji shield from him, which is really handy in specific situations. This time I'm gonna steal maybe something from him, because I have a very limited time to steal, and I have a 20% chance to even attempt to successfully steal the thing I'm looking for. And yes, the music is really good. By the way, this was the second attempt on Necrophobia. We already died once. So, Thieves Knife has a 50% chance to proc steal attack whenever I'm attacking. And then 40% of the time that the steal attempt is successful, it will actually work to steal something, because that's the chance to steal. So again, each attack is about 20% chance for me to get the item, which I think is the Genji armor, which isn't the greatest, but I might use it. The reason why it's not the greatest is because it does not have anything aside from physical defense. A lot of it, but I'll need to think about what I'm gonna use. He just healed himself from 0 damage because Necrophobia missed, actually. Speaking of missing, Necrophobia you can blind, by the way, if your character can do that. So with a Ranger's Darkness Bow, you just blind him rather easily, or Flash by a Blue Mage. There's probably other methods. Gilgamesh tries so hard. Unfortunately, I did not get Genji armor. Shouldn't really matter in the end. Goodbye, Gilgamesh. You were a good buddy. Or something like that. And you like animals a lot. Yep. Explorer, indeed. So, this is the final save point just before the final boss. And we're going to go back to the chicken knife. Genji shield is fine. Back into the back row though. That foot is just so strange. I actually wonder, why does PJ have a foot emote? It's so fitting, weirdly enough, but I'm just curious. You always thought it was especially mean that the only save point in the void was right before the last boss. It is mean? Isn't that a good thing? Well, you always wonder why do you not have a foot emote. I see. And yes, I recognize that top shot. Rampage Knights is the salute emote. The mighty foot. Your thought was like putting your foot in your mouth. I recognized it basically being a salute foot. It's just kind of... How do you even get to the idea to make that a foot? That's so great. So, should we try to get a Dragon Lance in order to take on Shinryu for a while, or would you like to just go ahead and attempt to defeat the last boss? What do you guys think? Boca returns as Bobby Corwin. Right. Gotta attempt Shinryu. I need a Dragoon Lance for that. And again, the chance for me stealing a Dragoon Lance is pretty tiny. It's 20% chance to attempt or to have a successful steal, and then 10 out of 256 times from that we get what we're looking for. So it's like a 0.4% chance after the 20%. Which means it's like a 0.08% chance to get the Dragoon Lance on each individual attack, that is. Which are not particularly good odds. But again, the Dragoon Lance would actually be really helpful against the final boss here as well. Since he does have one part that is considered to be a dragon. And in fact, it's the part that I want to take out first. Let's go! Back to the save point. But yeah, I save after the cutscene, that way I don't have to watch the entire cutscene anymore. But let's just give it a few tries, like, let's say 5 dragons. A successful steal of 5 dragons is the goal. We need specifically the crystal dragons to cooperate with us. Also, I still need to use the magic lamp twice anyways, in order to set it up to be used for Odin. So I'll do that as I go here as well. Preferably not against mind flayers, because whenever you attack those guys, they have a chance to counter with Mind Blast, which it does about 300 damage. The worst case scenario, about 1600 damage from each one of them. In theory, I could actually steal the Dragon Lance or Spear from the last phase of Neo XF2. Which I will try if I don't get it here, which that's pretty likely. I'm actually going to jump because you can still try to run away during the jump. Mind Blast. By the way, it would also paralyze, but because I have haste boots, I'm immune to paralyzation. I should probably just do regular attacks with the chicken knife. Because this has a 1 in 4 chance to just run away instead of attacking. Actually going to equip the Aegis Shield to have a 1 in 3 chance to block any spells that got thrown at me. Brain was sucked out, yep. Dragoons don't need brains? What? Why not? So here's the first dragon. 0.08% chance to steal from this guy. Not the correct thing. Or more specifically, steal what we are looking for, the Dragoon Lance. I mean, on the bright side, we get elixirs for stealing it from him in the first place, so that's kinda nice. Elixirs heal you to full. And also your MP, but that doesn't really matter because we don't have any moves that use MP. So for this challenge, do you just use the basic class until you unlock the job you're using? No, I've been using a cheat code to unlock the Dragoon right after the first crystal. So that way I can use the Dragoon for actually rather interesting bosses right off the bat, rather than having to wait until I defeat Archeo Avis. Which makes it a lot more interesting, I dare to say. That's the only cheat code I use for. So, Magic Lamp is now prepared, now we just need 4 more dragons and steal from them. Fun fact, you can actually steal from Shinryu as well. His rare steal is a Dragon Whisker. Oh hi, welcome. The Dragon Whisker is a whip that always critically hits dragons. Actually kinda decent. Couldn't steal. Breathwing, by the way, deals exactly 1/4 of my maximum HP and damage, so if he uses it 4 times and then don't heal in between, I'm dead. Please stop using Breathwing. I don't know, do you have the Bone Mail equipped? I forgot. Okay, another elixir. I don't know whether I have the Bone Mail equipped or not, so I just used the Dragon Sword in order to not die to the next Breathwing. Oh boy. Please let me run. No, come on. That's just mean. Alrighty, that is +1 random death. That was just mean. We only had 2 random deaths so far. There's a pinwheel in this chest. I don't need the pinwheel. Magic lamp. I need to set up the magic lamp again. That's the main thing I lost, really. I don't think I need the elixirs, so we should be fine on that end. But I just wanted to have the magic lamp already set up. So, by the way, we also got really unlucky that the Aegis shield didn't block a single one of the Breathwings. That doesn't help. And now I'm going to make sure I don't have the bone mail equipped. Okay, I did not have the bone mail equipped, so I could have in fact healed myself. Too bad I didn't remember. Pinwheel is in this thing. If you throw a pinwheel with a ninja, you actually deal a lot of damage. It's pretty good. Oh, one other fun fact about daggers, by the way. They reduce the enemy's evasion by half. So daggers are crazy good on that, on top of already being really good. One in 4 chance to run away whenever I attack. Or just run away naturally, that can happen too. There we go. Took a while. Probably want to be full HP, considering that the dragons seem to hurt quite a bit. Ouch. Alrighty, thank you for running away. I never knew you could actually walk behind this thing here. This is kind of weird. You can't even walk over here. Huh. This little ledge is a lot wider than it initially appears to be. Sleep. Sleep would be nice. I like sleep. Oh, hi. Okay, you're number 3. They're a rather uncommon encounter. Not rare, but uncommon. Okay, let's see. Breathwing. Up that, please. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Are you serious right now? That is real unexpected. I'm gonna use an elixir here to heal up. But I really want to keep that. That is really unexpected. We actually got a dragon spear, or dragoon spear, on a 3rd dragon. Well, actually 4th one technically, but the 3rd one we tried in this sequence. That's ridiculous. Alrighty, let me give you a comparison of the dragoon spear versus the holy spear real quick. It has 10 more attack power. It does not give the +3 strength, so actually the damage is about comparable, interestingly enough, because the 3 strength do make quite a bit of a difference. But again, the big deal is really that it just deals always critical hit damage against dragons. The RNG is in your favor, it looks like it. At the very beginning, when we started this run, it took ages until I finally got elixir drops to take on Carl boss with a solo character. But since then we have quite a few times where we got really lucky. Alrighty, we will give Shinryu a few shots. Movers, bye, I move away. So, what Shinryu does always on the very first turn is called Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave does literally max damage. So either use a coral ring or you jump over it. Thanks to being a dragoon, we just jump over it. Aside from that, once we land, he will use Maelstrom, Fight, or Roulette. I'm going to use a Bone Mail here, because he can use Roulette, which means that would just instantly kill me if it hits me. But with a Bone Mail, I would not actually die to it. Then next turn he can use Snowstorm, Atomic Ray, or Thunder. Then he uses Maelstrom, Fight, Roulette, Mighty Guard, level 2 ult, level 3 Flare. I would actually get hit by level 2 ult. Oh. So... Demon's Eye, Fight. So his physical attacks are likely to just straight up kill me. So I think what I want to do is... use an Ice Shield. Alrighty, wish me luck, because we need it. So, alrighty, hi. You're a fancy dragon. Tidal Wave misses. He has 55,000 HP, so we need 6 jumps in order to kill him. Maelstrom. Thunder. We're dead. Death number 1. We'll try a few times, because we deal real good damage there. I just realized, instead of trying to run away from the dragon, I could have killed him by just using the spear. I literally just stole. My counter's gonna shoot up? It is. It also would already against X stuff anyways. Most likely. Essentially, if I just jump as quick as I can, I will get hit by his 2nd and 3rd move, which is Maelstrom, Fight, or Roulette, and Snowstorm, Atomic Ray, and Thunder. So we just need to kind of avoid the Thunder, which the Thunder we would survive because it's a percentage-based damage. Snowstorm we survived thanks to the ice shield, absorbing it. Bone Mail we survived the roulette. So the only things that really kill us are Atomic Ray and him attacking us. Initially anyways. Oh. Well, that doesn't help. Thank you for the heal. Please don't use Big Guard. Big Guard reduces the damage it takes by half. Essentially. And use Snowstorm, Atomic Ray, and dead. Atomic Ray... I think Snowstorm we might technically survive, but we never survive Atomic Ray. Because we have the Bone Mail equipped, which doubles the damage we take from fire. The first time you beat Final Fantasy V was during your Forge of Fiesta run. Use the Berserk method for Shinryu. Nice. My very first playthrough was in a Forge of Fiesta for this game here. Because I never played Final Fantasy V before, because I didn't really have any interest in it really. Because I did not know what it was about. But then I saw a lot of people just play the Forge of Fiesta thing, and I was getting really intrigued by it, because that looked just like a lot of fun. And for me it was the perfect introduction to this game, because I would have been overwhelmed by the amount of choices I had. Too many choices, essentially. Up number 1. Maelstrom can be okay as long as he uses Ice Storm now. I'm going to wait until he uses his ability. Nice. Because I want to jump over to his next set of abilities, since there's level 2 ult in there. Or level 3 flares. Let's jump number 2. Poison Breath is fine because we actually absorb it. Jump number 3. Most of them is okay. Uh-oh. Alright, we are fine. Jump number 4. We only need 2 more after this. Those blocks are really good. Jump number 5, 1 more. He uses Big Guard? Oh no. We need now 2 more. Uh-oh. So, don't use Atomic Ray or Thunder, please. Thunder is actually okay still. Oh, level 2 ult, that's kinda bad, but we're still in there. For now. One more jump if we are lucky. Oh, we could have it here. Oh my goodness, we deal no damage anymore. Because Varys is just too old at this point for this kind of stuff. Atomic Ray, we dodged it. Oh no, 500 damage! Oh my god, this is not going to go well, is it? Oh. Okay, the blocks were real in this one. The blocks were amazing. Unfortunately, we are a multiple of level 2, otherwise we would have won right here. We would have won right here if it wasn't for level 2 ult. So if I actually leveled up to level 49, I would have won right there. That was unfortunate. I mean, there still was kind of a chance to win. Oh well. Since we actually do survive one physical attack, I do want to heal up to full. The Dragoon lands. The Ice Shield hasn't betrayed me yet, although the Fire Shield would be just as good to save me. Try this again. Up number 1. What does Ult do again? Ult reduces your agility, which means you're slower and slower and slower. This is why we have the bone mail. And then it also reduces your level, and your damage calculation is almost exclusively based off of your level. So it is kind of a big deal when you get hit by old status effect. By the way, Roulette has a 50-50 chance of hitting him or me. In this case, it would have hit me both times. Ah, big guard. We need now 6 more jumps, actually. Or was it 4 more jumps? But we jump over level 2 all possibility here. I don't know why his attack misses there. Kinda weird. Maybe one more. Maelstrom missed. That's kinda lucky. Because there's a chance to hit first Maelstrom and it didn't hit. I think one more. Level is the only thing ult doesn't reduce. Are you sure? Oh, we're dead. That's unfortunate. We need one more jump. Ult reduces all stats, not just agility. I thought it reduced level and agility. But yeah, if it reduces strength to 1, that's kind of an equivalent problem. But that's surprising to me, honestly. And yes, right code, that's exactly why I like Final Fantasy V so much. It's kind of, that's the reason why I like playing it the most. I absolutely love the story of Final Fantasy 6, 9 and 10. I don't really know the other ones, by the way. And I absolutely love the music in 6 and 9 and 10 and the graphics, and all those are amazing. But it's just the gameplay that I prefer in this game here. Just the gameplay. All reduces level for enemies only. Okay, that's good to know. I have been spreading not truths this entire time now. Jump number 2. Ouch. Ah, that's unfortunate. So that was attempt number 4 at Shinryu, right? Do you have something that prevents petrify on Ferris? That explains the... Oh, yeah, bone mail actually prevents petrification as well. Demon's Eye missing is expected. It's kind of one of the best case scenarios if you use Demon's Eye because of it. Aegis Shield would also prevent petrification, but I'm using an Ice Shield for, well, the Snowstorm. It's either Ice Shield or it is Fire Shield. I mean, so far we've gotten really lucky that he just used ice on us. Let's actually switch that up a little bit, just a little. I'm gonna use the fire shield now, because it's an equivalent chance for him to use ice versus fire. It doesn't make a difference really. Your Forge of Fiesta set was Blue Mage, Summoner, Bard and Chemist. Oh wow. Those are insanely powerful chops if you know how to use them. Like really crazy strong. But at least 2 out of the 4 you kind of need to know what you're doing. And the third one, well, you need to figure out where the songs are. But that's a really strong team. Hey! Flame shield. Monster Mist. Top number 5. Alright, one more jump in theory. Boom! We got him! Victory! Alrighty. Let's see real quick. I need to add up the deaths on my spreadsheet, because I kind of forgot to keep track of that. We are 12 deaths, so that was 5 deaths to Shinri. The 6th attempt worked. Nice! Alrighty. You get a Dragon's Crest for this, which doesn't do anything at all. Okay, Strength Armor, Big Knife to run away, and Aegis Shield to block stuff. 5 deaths to him is not bad at all. It's amazing actually, I would say. Because I've seen an Elmagus try this kind of thing that I just did. And it took him way longer. To be fair, I don't think he survived one physical attack. Which I do. The crest is item proof of killing him. It has its purpose. Fair enough. But I mean, aside from that, it doesn't really do anything. Yes, Dragoon is definitely one of the strongest solo cactus, because they are so self-sufficient, you could say. They are essentially a heavy armor class that can sit in the back row. But they just don't mingle too well in a group setting. Because what do? They protect themselves by jumping. And they are not really any faster or stronger than anybody else in terms of how long it takes them to deal the damage with the jump. Sure, jump deals double damage, but you also use 2 turns to do it. And unless you have like a spellcasting class, the Dragon Sword is kind of the only thing they bring to the table for other classes that is somewhat unique and somewhat useful-ish. Did I defeat Omega already? No, I didn't even try. Omega I would deal like 2000 damage per jump. And I would need to get lucky to the extent of getting as lucky as I did against Shinryu just now. For about 10 times the amount of turns in order to win. So highly unlikely. Hey Lethlin, thank you for the host. Welcome, how are you doing? Alrighty, so for this guy here, what am I gonna do? I think I will use the Dragoon Spear and the Aegis Shield to stand in the back row. The Strength Armor is, well, giving me additional strength, which is nice. But the main reason to not use the Bone Mail is because otherwise I can't heal myself really, and that will be kind of a big deal. Alrighty. First of all, we have the first form XX Death here. This is the tree form, and it has a few rather annoying attacks. For other solo classes that do not have the ability to use shields, one of the worst attacks you can use is White Hole, because it has a pretty high chance of success, and it will just petrify you. Essentially, the solo class is instantly dead to it if it hits. But thanks to having Aegis Shield, White Hole will never actually hit us. So then he has also various abilities, such as being able to cast Holy, and that is kind of handy too. If you can avoid it. Or we just block it, that's nice. I don't think it would have killed fairies there, but it would have done enough damage that I wanted to start healing up. I didn't keep track of how much damage I dealt to him so far, by the way. Maybe I should start doing that. Either way, once this guy drops below a certain HP threshold, he changes his AI script. I don't know what it is and what it was. But I know also once he drops below 10,000 HP, he has a chance of using Meteor. And Meteor can more or less just straight up kill me. There's not much I can do about that, so we just hope to avoid that by pushing him into the next phase as quick as we can. Very glad it's weekend. I see. Welcome to the weekend. And good night, Lethan. Thank you for dropping by, and I wish you good rest. Take care, and thank you for the good luck. I think we are actually already in the final phase here. I will be using an elixir to heal up, probably at the beginning of the next thing. Oh, and yeah, we were under 10,000. Unfortunately, this means we are dead to a Meteor. Meteor is going to be just pure chance whether we will avoid it or not, really. There's not much we can do about it at all. It's just... It either kills us or it doesn't. Essentially, he has a 1 in 3 chance on each of his turns to use Meteor, to attack, or do nothing. Each one of those is 1 in 3. If I had a more reliable way of actually healing myself, this would actually be great. Like, if the Dragoon had just a spear that is ice or fire element, I could use an ice or fire shield to attack myself with it and heal with that through the bone mail, which would be a lot more effective than attacking or healing with high potions too, but we don't have that option. So Aegis Shield is good, and also I think the Dragoon Spear probably does more damage with jumps than the Chicken Knife. I can actually test that real quick. The Chicken Knife would be slightly better because once again it gives agility, so that could help. Jumping on my chest should be fun. That's kind of what I plan on doing. So, I actually didn't pay attention how much damage that was, to be honest. So his first form has like 50,000 HP, that is 3,500 damage, slightly less than that actually. Let's see real quick. I never used the Assassin Dagger, I just realized. The Chicken Knife jump damage. Okay, we are definitely doing more damage with that one. Let's jump number 4. Jump number 5. Jump number 6. Unfortunately, Flare I think will kill me. 2,800. Yeah, that kills me. I don't quite have enough HP to survive that. And yes, the Grand Cross part is Dragon, and I will kill the Grand Cross part first. Because realistically, the only danger is getting insta-killed by the Grand Cross. Once I have taken care of the magic portion, Grand Cross is the only thing that really can kill me. How long do I predict this will take? Well, let's put it this way, the successful attempt alone will take like 10-15 minutes. Just by virtue of how much HP this thing has. I need to switch. Oh, I did not switch my equipment, did I? Do I still have the bone mail right now? Three. Four. Five. Six. After 6 jumps he will start being able to use Flare and Holy, I think. And also White Hole for that matter. Ouch. Do I survive that? No, I don't. Huh. That's a lot of damage right there. So I guess I just need to hope to avoid that. He has a 1 in 3 chance to use Flare, 1 in 3 chance to use Holy, and 1 in 3 to attack. So essentially we have a 1 in 3 chance to not die to his first move once he switches phases. And I can't jump over that first move because I need to actually hit him in order to push him into the second phase. So we just need to get lucky on that end. Also a 1 in 3 chance to avoid that by having the shield. Jaeger's shield. In phase 2 I will be equipping the Genji shield because physical attacks are going to be much more of an issue. Actually, if I level up just to about 3000 HP, I would survive the Holies as well. Since Dragoon has a pretty good HP growth, I think that would be not taking too long. But for the future, for other solo classes, that might be a reasonable way to go about it. I think that is number 6 for the jumps. Or not. Gonna use an elixir here. Hoping that I don't have the bone mail equipped right now. Okay, I don't. Otherwise it would have set me to 9 HP or less, because elixir on undead targets is essentially... Goodbye! Oh! Wait, I almost survived that. Elixir on undead target is just the weak status effect. How much over death was that? I thought I survived that, but I guess not. I saw the 27 at the end, which I thought those first 2 numbers were the same. 200, so it wasn't. Yeah... Flare, by the way, is neutral element and also pierces magic defense. So in theory, Holy would be weaker. Because I should have more magic defense, right? So if I just heal up before the 6th jump, I might survive thanks to Holy not killing me. Wait, am I not full HP in the first place? Do I need to heal first? Kind of looks like it almost. Now I need to heal anyways. 4. This is jump number 5. You could use Wild Hole sometime because I actually have defense against it. I'm about to use all elixirs anyways. No, I was at max HP. Yeah, that's more damage than I could work for. For some reason I thought I had 2800 HP, which I don't. Rude. All I need to do is actually need to just count his turns and then jump over his first turn again once we get to phase 2. So he's in phase 2 now. Wait, no he isn't. Now he's going to be in phase 2. Or I can just jump a second time immediately. That's the first one. Then it should be fight, white hole. Next one is fight, white hole, nothing. Condemn? Oh, that was already his fourth turn. Alrighty. Condemn puts a timer above my head. I do not have enough damage to kill the entirety of the boss before that number runs out, so it's basically just death. So I guess Condemn is essentially just an insta-kill too. But it's only a 1 in 3 chance for him to use Condemn versus the Flare and Holy. Although I guess his ATB doesn't reset, and I seem to be able to just jump and recover and then immediately jump again before he can act. Let me actually test this theory real quick. So what I want to do... Maybe keep the chicken knife for that. Let's see. He attacks, I come down shortly after. Can I go before he goes again? I can. So... Jump number 2. Jump number 3. Jump number 4. Jump number 5. Jump number 6 is only 18,000 damage because the chicken knife doesn't deal quite as much. So we are not quite in the next phase yet. He did nothing this turn. So what I want to do is I want him to... essentially... How do I time this? I think I want to use a high potion and then jump. Then I will land right after he moves. Unless he just did nothing right there. Yeah, he just did nothing right there. And now he can just immediately use Flare. Ah! Alright, high potion takes too long. I will have to wait out a little bit in order to get better timing. Does it matter which character you use for solo challenge? Kind of. Essentially, Butts is the only character that is really there for all the major bosses. Ferris is only missing for one mini-boss. And then Lena and Galuf are actually missing for quite a while until you get them back. I guess actually Lena is only missing for one major boss, and well, an area for that matter. Or an entire area, that is. So it kind of matters a little. And yes, what Aramlis says. Everybody has unique base stats, and it does matter a little bit which stat you go for. Did I increase the death counter, by the way? I didn't pay attention. Might have just been autopilot. Jump number 3. Jump number 4 right here. Jump number 5. So this might work actually, that I come down right after he moves. Nope, I needed to wait just a tiny little bit. Alright, I got lucky, he didn't use White Hole. Foliar Flare. That's his second turn. Now he can use Fight, White Hole or nothing, and then afterwards he has Condemn. I might be able to attack him here again with just a regular attack. So he's on the third turn in the second phase. Okay with this. Not. This guy is kind of sketchy, but I want to stay here. He has a 1 in 3 chance to straight up kill me. But the next turn he has a 2 in 3 chance to straight up kill me. Ah, and the 1 in 3 strikes. And then there's the one that can kill me straight up. Maybe I just jump. That kind of worked pretty well. And hey, Aegis, welcome! We did indeed manage to kill Shinryu. It's kind of ridiculous because essentially the 4th Crystal Dragon gave us the Dragoon Spear, which is pretty insane if you ask me, in terms of how unlikely that is. So yeah. Jump number 1. Jump number 2. Jump number 3. Jump number 4. I just keep jumping. I hope that I just jump into the second phase, because second phase, as long as I get a heal in and then the magic lamp, we are probably fine without any trouble. So I think, honestly, my best bet might just be to deal as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time available. Even if that means it's just a 1 in 3 chance to survive the first move of the second phase. Also, I lost count, by the way. We need like 10... about 14 to 15 jumps in order to push him into the second phase. The blocks are real. It looks like... it almost feels like I have a Genji shield rather than a... other shield. Aww. Oh, second death to Meteor. Meteor is just either going to happen or it's not going to happen. But aside from that, the strategy here seemed to work pretty well. Meteor he starts using once he's on the 10,000 HP. I just realized I'm still floating, because I guess I never lost the float status. Because why would I? Never use a tent or a cabin in order to heal, since that would revive the other allies. And the only way to lose float is by either dying, getting petrified, or... similar annoyances. Oh yeah, there's the Gravity 100 spell. That's the only way I probably would survive and not lose the float status. Okay, I think that's number 6. So he is now in phase 2 and could just use Holy and Flare. Actually, we might just jump over this with this timing. Yeah, I think we just jumped over it. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Again, we need 14 to 15 jumps. Number 10. We can use Condemn now, I think. Oh, we blocked the Holy! Hooray! Ferris can block the Holy. Never mind, I was actually 1 turn behind on what he can do now. White Hole will never hit because Aegis Shield 100% of the time blocks it, which is nice. Oh, Meteor! You missed! Haha! And I get to jump before he can do anything else. That's nice. Ah! Ineffective! Alright. I was still on the floor. You might have been a bit premature. Or slow with your ineffective there. There we go. Phase 1 complete. Alrighty, and welcome to Phase 2. Phase 2 consists of 4 different parts. The front part on the top right is a physical portion that uses regular attacks and vacuum wave, and also occasionally dispel if I'm not mistaken. Actually, does it use counterattack dispel? Might be. Either way, the part on the far left, the weird scrambled mess, is the magical part that casts spells at you. And it's also the part that is actually susceptible to getting instantly killed by the 3rd charge of the Odin's Lamp, which I have prepared. Then the top middle part, you know that weird kind of dragon unicorn thing? Oh, this kills the far left part. Oof, you hear the sound. So, alrighty. Now, the most dangerous part really is getting hit by Almagests while not having full HP. I think the shaking indicates Almagests coming up, which Almagest does about 1600 damage and also inflicts HP leak status, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm lucky, I can just jump over it. And that's what I'm attempting to do. The top left... Oh, vacuum wave. I'm not going to survive an Almagest now. Aha, I jumped over it anyways. So alright, the piece that I just jumped on is the... using the Genji Shield to block 50% of the physical attacks. The part that I just jumped on is the Grand Cross portion. We never want to see a Grand Cross because that's kind of the only thing that can realistically kill me in this fight. So yeah. The Grand Cross, what it does is... I just jumped over it. Huh. It does 1 out of the possible 22 status effects. Among those status effects is stuff like Petrification, which we are immune to. Well, actually we are not, because I don't have the Aegis Shield equipped. Ha! Zombie. And... instant death, as in literally just straight up you're dead, nothing you can do about it type of deal. What are you doing? And stuff like that. So Almagest does a lot of damage, but at the same time I have plenty of elixirs, and it's always very predictable damage for that matter, or for that reason. The only time we really are worried about stuff is Grand Cross, actually doing a status effect that would instantly kill us. Like... Alright, it looks like we are fine. There's actually about 6 or 7 or 8 status effects that I'm just straight up immune to or don't care about. So we should be fine. Only 1 or 2 more jumps onto that portion. So, the front portion has 50,000 HP. The middle portions, the 2 middle portions, have 55,000 HP. And the Grand Cross portion is now just dead. Alrighty, we only have 2 parts left, and those parts I should be able to take out without too much trouble, in theory. So, 3,534. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up a calculator, because it's really important that I kill both parts at the same time. 3,534. So, it's really important that I kill both parts at the same time, because if you leave one part left over alive, the last remaining part will just go into a frenzy and cast Almagest without charging up at all, or even just deal a ton of damage to you by using Meteor, which one Meteor alone might just kill me. You may also just do nothing, which is also kind of pleasant. 3, 4, 9, 6, and I'm just going to add up the numbers until we know where we are properly. You might be wondering, how do you even kill 2 parts at the same time? Well, that's a good question. 3382. And I think the answer to that is the Odin's Lamp, probably. Or 387. Or the lamp, just not Odin's Lamp, just the magic lamp. Because the next charge is Sildra, which actually, is it improved by equipping the Wind Dagger? It might just be. 3914. Scusa thank you for 22 rounds in a row support. Thank you so much. And well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much, Scusa 5-8. I wasn't sure whether that was a 0 or a 6. I was actually an 8, so it was neither. At the end there. Alrighty, I'm just going to deal about 50,000 damage to the Almagest part. And then we switch over to the front part instead. Because the front part is more easily to accidentally target, so I target the back part first. 3724. We're about halfway through for the back part. Yeah, thank you so much, Scusa. Welcome back, and how are you doing? 3686. Oh, I'm just gonna jump. We managed to jump over pretty much every Almagest except the one that I just didn't care about so far. What I'm gonna do is just going to heal to full, because chances are I don't need to preserve elixirs. Thanks to the Genji shield, we actually have really good physical defense, or block chance anyways. No, thank you, Scusa. Thank you so much. Kind of lucky so far to pretty much always jump over Almagests. We are, with one more jump, just at 50,000, which means it would require 2 more jumps in order to kill it. Pretty much. 3, 4, 7. Oh. Oh. I didn't do that right. It's plus 3, 4, 2, 0. Minus 320 because I accidentally added 220. We are at 51,224 damage on the front part. On the Almagest part. Just the one I just jumped on the entire time. 3420. I'm probably going to be able to jump over the Almagest again. If not, that would have potentially killed me. 3724. 3914. You're great. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad you liked the Winter Challenge run too. That's pretty awesome. I just wanted to heal the foe because a regular attack plus an Almagest combo would have instantly killed me there, if that were to coincide. I'm actually going to wait very slightly here before I jump. Because I think if I jumped immediately I would have come down before... Oh, I did anyways, before Almagest hits. And that's kind of spooky when he Almagest and then immediately follows up with a physical. Have I ever said that I really like the Genji shield? Because I really do. 3534. Ineffective. Oh my gosh, there we go. I was really worrying to not be able to jump in time anymore. About that Almagest. We are at 36,100 damage on the front part. The front part only has 50,000 HP, so I need to start being careful right around now. $3914. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do another jump here actually. Unless... 3420. Alright, let me think about this. If we deal the same damage with the next jump, we would kill the front portion with our next jump. So I need to deal less damage with our next jump. Which, in theory, the chicken knife deals less damage, but so does the holy spear. Alright, but I know I can jump onto the Almagest portion once more before it is going to get pushed into... Or more specifically before it dies, because the Almagest portion is about 3,800 HP away, and I don't think we deal quite that much damage with a single jump. Just to ensure, I'm gonna go ahead and equip the Holy Spear to do a jump onto it. Oh, still hit me, that's bad. Three, 2, 4, 0. It should be alive still. Yep, it's alive by just slightly over 500 HP. Thank you for not using Vacuum Wave. I appreciate that. So, how much damage was that, by the way? 3,240, which would actually still kill him. So... if I hit him once with the chicken... I'm not gonna do enough damage, do I? I think I just need to physically attack him now. To push him past the threshold. So, I think what I want to do is we're going to equip the Dragoon Spear and attack the front part, which has regular attacks, that is 810. Plus 801. One more of those attacks and he should be in a good position for me to... Oop, 918, so that's a higher roll. So, both of those are less than 700 HP away. In theory, if I equip the air lance, I should be able to deal more damage with the magic lamp. So this should kill both of them, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yep. And we win! Ooh! Spooky. Alrighty. Our second solo character challenge, single class thing is complete. I still don't say that thing correctly, but who cares? Number 2. Dragoon has been done. And I dare to say, if you thought this was kind of sketchy and 120 dems is kind of a lot, well, Dragoon is one of the better classes to do this with. So there will be others where we will maybe not necessarily have more deaths, but we will have to grind a whole lot more to get anywhere close. Alrighty. For anyone curious, I do have a little document where I note all the deaths, and also might as well just write the time or the end time in there, how long it took us approximately to finish this in. Oops. Depressing ending time? Kinda. Because the ending, for anyone who does not know, actually does change based on which character survives at the end. More specifically, which character is still alive during the final moments when you just defeat the boss. So the ending changes. 3 of the characters get lost, of course, every time now, because we are doing a solo character challenge. And that will be kind of part of it. By the way, if somebody has some motivation, or I guess a lot of motivation, if you'd like to go through... Actually, let me do it this way. If somebody would like to go through the White Mage highlights / VODs and count the amount of deaths we had for each boss, the random deaths, probably there were none for White Mage, so whatever, but for each boss, if you'd like to add up all the deaths, or more specifically write down the deaths for each boss, you will be able to define which class or which job we play next, which is going to be after the next drop hole. Somebody who does that, feel free to, well, do that. If not, that's a lot of time invested, by the way. I don't expect anybody to do that. But I figured in case somebody is crazy enough to do that, maybe I would just kind of give you a nice little reward. Which hopefully would be something. Yeah, there's that. And once again, if you'd like to if you'd like to see our playthrough lists of games, but also Final Fantasy V death counts, it's in the tab on this little spreadsheet here. A pretty lengthy link. I might make a tiny URL out of this sometime. But this is kind of where we stand with the Dragoon. 232? That doesn't seem right. Oh. I see. Hang on. I didn't do that right. 120 deaths in the end, which means there were 8 deaths on X-Death alone. All of those were on a 3 form of X-Death. Alrighty, and I would say enjoy the ending. I'm going to get up, stretch, walk around for a while, and I will either start the next solo character challenge run, or we will be probably ending the stream for today, so one or the other, depending on what else I should do right now. So, be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So, let me actually check real quick on the straw poll. I might actually decide whether we start today based on which class is in the lead, because certain classes require a bit more effort than others in order to get anywhere. So there's that. We actually have Dancer in the lead by 2 votes, with 9 versus Beastmaster and Chemist who have 7. Right behind that is Bard with 6, Summoner with 5, Hunter with 5, Geomancer with 4, Thief with 4, Mystic Knight 3, Samurai 3, Monk has 2, Black Mage has 2, Knight has 1, Red Mage has 2, and Ninja has 0. Nobody likes ninjas. Huh. Where's the Blue Mage? That's a good question. I forgot about putting that in there. Whoops. Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, Blue Mage should be in there, but I guess I forgot. Sorry. Fair enough. Thank you for the heads up, Nars Nest. Because I did not deliberately exclude any class from this poll except for the Berserker. So yeah. Overall, I would say Dragoon was pretty solid. The only downside is that you couldn't really take much advantage of elemental weaknesses of enemies. Then again, you could take advantage of some elemental weaknesses, which is not something that every single chop class has. So there's that. You threw a hunter board to see the high levels animals use. Yeah, actually that would be interesting because I don't think I've ever seen much beyond level 30 for a hunter. A lot of those would actually be quite interesting. The question is, in some instances then, hunter, once you're high enough level, would you really use animal over X-Fight instead? To be fair, X-Fight will take a long time to get there, but still. You'd love to see Thief. Thief is one of the more insane solo class challenges. It is actually very much unlike the White Mage, where you have to grind out a lot, like a long time, in order to have a shot at getting past certain bosses like Biblos. Because your damage output is just so pitiful that you don't have much of a choice aside from running Biblos out of MP. And that takes a while. times, run away 255 times. I mean, once you get the chicken knife, no problem. But until you get that, oh my goodness, that will take a while. I actually did see the Hunter's Unicorn a couple of times, but I think it might revive your other teammates, so that would be a problem, but still fun. Oh, really? It does? I have no idea what it does. Yeah, that would be a mild problem, but I'll probably want to look at it at least a little. So, animals is 0 is a Mysidian rabbit, up to 5 is squirrel, 10 is beesworn, to 20 is nightingale, 20 to 30 is momonga, which stuns, falcon is 30 to 40, 40 to 50 is skunk, and 50 to 60 is wild boar. Hey, those might actually be kind of interesting. What do they do even? Is there a list of what the... Oh, animal magic, there we go. Momonga uses Paralyze for 240 time units. A falcon is dealing damage akin to 12/16 of the enemy's HP. That's actually pretty crazy. The skunk inflicts poison and darkness. That's kinda neat, but you have a bow for darkness. Falcon is like quarter. Right. Wild boar does damage. It has 180 attack power, it looks like. Also it does round base damage. Ew. King of Red Lions? I've heard the name before, but I don't know who that is. Ep, you can vote on the straw poll which one you would like to see next. So chat does make the suggestion through the straw poll here. Here's the straw poll in case you haven't caught it yet. Feel free to vote. By the way, everybody has Sword Slap because I made them ninjas in order to get past the Minotaurs. Which, unless I have a really compelling reason with other solo classes, like I just want Holy, or I want Meteor, or I want Flare for that matter, I'm just not really going to bother going through the other areas. I don't think. Maybe, we'll see. Gunarm Dine is now rating you. Hey, thank you guys. Welcome everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We have just finished a solo character single class challenge with the Dragoon in Final Fantasy 5. We are about to start our next one, so if you'd like to vote which class you would like to see for the next one, feel free to head over to the straw poll and vote on which character. In Soviet Russia, Wind Crystal breaks you. Wow. That's brutal. Welcome guys, I hope you're doing well. I don't really know what the Wind Crystal thing is about, but If I may ask, what were you doing over there? And how are you doing? You can vote until we essentially get the wind crystal. So the way I do this is I'm just kind of following in the footsteps of Sulla with 3 Ls. And I will be switching to that chosen job class after we get the wind crystal. So until then you have time to vote. Hey Dunarm! You started your own Final Fantasy 5 challenge round with natural elements, wind crystal jobs only for Butts, water for Lena, etc. Nice. I hope you have a lot of fun with that. Natural can be quite interesting in my opinion. What is the link again? The link is right here. Reminds me, I might as well start the next draw poll for the thing already. So, I don't forget it immediately again. I'm just going to write Blue Mage first. Dancer, Beastmaster, Chemist, Bard, Geomancer, Summoner, Hunter, Thief, Mystic, Knight, Samurai, Red Mage, Monk, Black Mage, Knight, and Ninja. Oh. I'm not going to finalize a straw poll for the next one yet, because one of those classes will be chosen and no longer in the straw poll. Oh. Plat King, thank you for the 100 happy bits. For the 100 happy rabbits. Really appreciate those. A Greek Sea, Veil Scarecrow, thank you for the good luck. I can never use this. Toughest challenge is, unfortunately, the Berserker. I did White Mage already. That was my very first one. And, well, I would say we're going to just start with the next one, because I have time to stream still, and I have still energy. So, let's just go ahead and get a new game started.